Well, a group of residents around a lake on the interior of Newfoundland is raising concerns about rising water levels. NL Hydro operates a dam that controls the levels, and residents say it's keeping those levels too high. Now, it's not just property washing into the water, but the last remnants of the extinct Beothuk culture. Ryan Cook reports.
It's too late for reconciliation on Beothuk Lake. The Beothuk culture was wiped out by colonization in the 1800s, but residents around what was formerly known as Red Indian Lake say they're looking for the truth before places like this are washed into the water.
So this is actually a real Beothuk site where they had one of their mammotiques years ago. It's very important, but as you can see, it's very close to the edge of the lake, and that's the concern right now.
Fiona Humber is the mayor of nearby Millertown. She spent much of her term trying to fight coastal erosion.
So you can really see the damage here, hey?
You can really see all these trees. I mean, they weren't here last year. This is the effect of one year of high water.
This isn't just a lake. It's also a hydroelectric reservoir. Its levels are controlled by Newfoundland and Labrador Hydro. Humber and others believe hydro is keeping the water too high and causing priceless damage.
At high water in usually April or May, the water gets up as high as here. And last year I've heard of people saying that there's actually been water coming into the site.
So that would be a terrible loss.
Laurie McLean was one of the archaeologists who discovered this site near Millertown in 2016. It's one of the latest Beothuk dwellings from the 1800s, likely built as the Beothuk retreated inland to get away from Europeans. It's one of the last sites that hasn't been swept into the lake.
On Beothuk Lake, we have 50 historically documented Beothuk structures, and we can account for 2 of them right now, archaeologically.
In a statement, Newfoundland and Labrador Hydro says it believes the erosion on Beothuk Lake is naturally occurring. It says water levels in the lake continue to be within the normal operating parameters and for the most part have remained at the same levels since 1995. But that doesn't sit well with Rick Noftel, who owns a cabin on the lake. He says the levels may not be getting higher, but that's not telling the full story.
They're saying the water levels, the lake is not really full. The water levels are not to their max. But if you look at the erosion, like the lake is just getting bigger and it's holding more water.
This is what Noftel's shoreline looks like when the water is low. And this is what it looks like in the spring, when snow and ice melt and run into the lake. Noftel says it stays like this until midsummer, when hydro opens the gates downstream.
We get high water levels and you get the wind with it, and it's like the Atlantic Ocean, it does a lot of damage.
Noftel has lost plenty of shoreline in the 20 years he's owned this cabin, but he's afraid he's going to lose everything. Both Noftel and Humber believe the solution is in Hydro's hands. They just hope the solution comes before it's too late.
They have complete control of the water here, and I mean, all we're asking is that they, don't keep it at the highest that they can for as long as they can.
Ryan Cook, CBC News, Beothuk Lake.